I got my fringe cut the other day and I'm literally obsessed. I was really worried that I would hate it, but I love it and I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is a reading vlog. You're going to follow me around for this week. Follow me around. I'm literally just going to be in this room and I'm going to read. Crazy idea for a reading vlog. I just thought it'd be fun to do a little reading vlog. I haven't done a YouTube video in a while and I want to get back into it. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy. I have a new little reading space right next to me at the end of my bed. It's a little ottoman. The first book I want to start today is The Grace Year. It's been on my Kindle and I've also got an audiobook for it on Spotify because I get 15 hours of free listening time a month. I feel like that's a good book to listen to for it. I really need to be immersed in it. Listening to it and reading it at the same time is like the best way I can read anything at the moment. Like as soon as it starts, I feel like I get it. If I'm just reading something, it takes me at least 20% to really like understand something. So we're going to start with that. I also am over halfway through How to Lose a Time War. This is how you lose a time war. Yeah, this is how you lose a time war. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to read it today, but I do need to finish this. Like, I'm really enjoying it and I want to put it on my favorite thing over there. I'm 100 pages in, which is about 30% through, and it's so interesting at the moment. Premise is that there's this society, I guess. There's more women than there is men, and they have this grace year that they're not allowed to speak about. The women are sold off like cattle to the men that want them, so the men have to go and choose which women they want. There's this sort of like ceremony where the girls' fathers will put like veils on their heads. The next day, the man who's like chosen to be their husband will lift the veil, and that's when they see who's chosen to be their husband. And then after that, they get put into the outskirts, get locked into this like thing. And at the moment, we don't really know what the grace year is because no one's allowed to talk about it. Women come back missing ears, missing fingers. If a woman is not able to produce children, she's shamed. If she does something out of line, she's taken and killed. And the women who aren't chosen still have to participate in the grace year. And then if they survive, they come back and they, instead of getting married and having children, they are forced to work in different areas and some more brutal than others. That's what I've gathered so far. I feel like this has just the right amount of world building for me to understand what's going on. So yeah, I'm going to keep reading and check back in when I've got a bit further on.
Got kick.
So I just went to upload all of my footage to my computer and realised that the last few clips that I filmed are gone. I basically sat here and finished the book in the last hour or so. I have so many thoughts. Like, I've been reading a lot of women's rage, women's injustices, I'll say. And after every single one, I just have to like sit and process it. After I finished this book, I went onto TikTok and saw about somewhere in Germany where they're hunting women. I realised I didn't explain this very well. Basically, there's a place in Germany where they get women to like run away from these men that they pick, and then they chase them and catch them and then beat them with like these animal horns. It's gross. And it's like, it's not even that far-fetched. Stuff that I'm reading about isn't entirely fictional. It really puts it into perspective. Like when you're reading these books and then you go see something happening to women. You read these books and you're like, that would never happen. You hope that would never happen. You realise that it's already happening. It was shocking, I think. Originally, I'd given myself like 3 days to read this book, but I was so hooked by it that I had to read it all today. Couldn't put it down. I needed to know what was happening. The writing was great. It kept me hooked, on the edge of my seat, wondering what was going to happen next. I also like the ending. You don't know what happened to the main character. I like that it was a standalone, but I also think it could be a series. There could be spin-offs. I actually was shocked by a lot of the things happening. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know if I said before, they tell the women that they have magic, and that's why they're sending them to their place to get rid of their magic before they come back, because the men are afraid of their magic, what they can do with their magic. It's an important thing to be reading about women's injustices, even fictionally. Reading non-fiction books about it just is a little bit too much for me, I think, because I am a woman. I do have to live with it. The fact that we are seen as lesser human beings to some men, I just don't think I can handle a non-fiction book about it. But something fictional that, like, I know at the end isn't actually happening, I can handle. I read I Who Have Never Known Men, this, Blood Over Brighthaven, all of these in a month of each other. They are important, but I don't think you should read them one after another like I have, because I'm just a bit like, wow, it sucks to be a woman. Maybe I'll take a break. I think I'm going to do some colouring. It's between a 4.5 and a 5 star. I wanted a little bit more, but I don't know what it would have been. I'm going to come back to you tomorrow. We'll start a new book. It'll probably be just as depressing. Apparently that's what I like to read. So it's the next day. I've just got ready to go to work. I'm about to go have a shower. I won't have any time to read before I go, but I will finish This Is How You Lose the Time More when I get home, and I won't get home till 8. I needed something easy that I can read after work that I will finish. I only have like this much left of the book. There's 198 pages and I'm on at page 133. I should finish this tonight. It shouldn't take me too long. I'll update you then. I'm home from work. It's actually a lot later than I said it was gonna be. It's 9:30 because I was busy putting all my clothes into my new ottoman. So I'm starting late. That's also why my hair is up, and let me take it down. I am going to hopefully finish reading this now, and then tomorrow I'm hoping to start Sword of Kaigen. I'm going to read now because I haven't all day. Yeah, that was a 5 star. This book is so good. It's like correspondence between two different parts of war efforts, and one of them's called Red and one of them's called Blue, which is why I needed red tabs, but I don't have any. I think I used all my red tabs on Anxious People, which is understandable, but I need to definitely get some new ones. So now go through, tab everything, and then I'm probably going to put this on my favourite book pile because, yeah, this is a work of art. I will say it's written by two different people, a man and a woman, and I definitely prefer the woman's writing more, but like, I could have told you that before I even started it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I'm not going to do any more reading tonight because it's too late. Tomorrow we're starting with Sword of Kaigen, but yeah, I'll show you my tabs once I've put them in, probably tomorrow. So it's 2:30. I kind of got distracted because Spotify Wrapped just came out. My top artist is Charlie XCX, no surprise there. I also was watching a little TikTok this morning and I saw a video of someone recommending a book that was literally 122 pages. So I went and looked at it and it was on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, why don't I just read this right now? I did read it and it was good. I did enjoy it. I liked the ending. It was really interesting. It was sci-fi. It was about a woman who was traveling in space with her crew and she wakes up from her like cryostasis and the rest of her crew is dead. And then she finds out that the like comms unit on her ship has been like something's happened to it and she can't put out like a distress call or anything not far away, but she can put one out like close. And so then she finds an alien. And if I had £1 for a book that I've read where our main character has sex with an alien, I'd have £2, which isn't that much, but it's weird that it happened twice. Yes, I did read the smutty alien book this year, but we won't talk about that. It actually wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. I did just read it as a joke, but I ended up not hating it, so joke's on me, I guess. I will start Sword of Kaigen at some point today. I'm putting it off because I know it's going to be like long and I know it's going to be heartbreaking and I know it's going to be incredible, so I'm just putting it off, but I will start it. I think what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to eat something, I'm going to watch an episode of Criminal Minds, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start the book. And then we'll read for the rest of the day. So it's actually 4:20 and I got distracted by colouring and I watched 2 episodes of Criminal Minds and ate food. But now I'm ready to start. Hi, it's the next day. It's almost 5 o'clock. I've been at work since 7 until 3:30. I've gotten home, I've eaten, I've watched another episode of Criminal Minds. I didn't get much reading done yesterday, not as much as I would have hoped to. I should have got more done, but I wanted to watch more Criminal Minds and then I had to go to sleep early because I had to work at 7 a.m. You'll also have to excuse my appearance. My face is breaking out, so I don't want to put any makeup on. At work, I had a few hours to listen to an audiobook, so I listened to Odd Spirits, which is the literal novella for Evocation by S.T. Gibson, which I read a few months ago. I really enjoyed Evocation. I gave that a 4-star. The problem is S.T. Gibson wrote one of my 6-star books, A Diary of Blood, and like nothing will ever surpass that now. But I still like her character work, her just storytelling, like it's great. And I like her story vibes. Like the vibes are 10 out of 10. And the vibes in Evocation, immaculate. The second book's coming out next year. I wanted to read this little novella. It was literally like 2 hours and I listened on 2 times speed, so it was an hour. And then after that I got some Sword of Kaigen reading done. Not a lot, literally like 20 minutes maybe. I came home and I wanted to colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the audiobook and I'm going to colour because I'm enough of the way through now that I can pay attention and do something else. The start of a book I really need to focus and like read it while I'm listening, but now like I'm far enough in that I can listen and pay attention to something else, especially colouring. Like it's not gonna take that much brain power, so I should be fine. I'm listening to on 3 times speed for some reason. Like I'm just gonna put it on normal speed right now, and you tell me that this isn't slow as
his world, trying to make the pieces fit together. He saw
that is so slow. I can't listen to it like that. I really can't. Now listen to this. This is what I've been listening at.
Tucky should have realized that it was only a matter of time before he did something stupid. He wasn't but jostly trained to retain and process the truths of the world, nor was he.
I can understand every word of that. Like, why is normal speed so slow? 3 times speed is kind of crazy though. Like, I'm probably gonna put it down to like 260, which sounds like this.
Or was he a peaceful craftsman? He was a fighter, with a fighter's ferocity. And there was a reason that the Josaliwu, Finawu, and Numawu of the world kept certain things from their Korono.
That's just so much more manageable. If anyone listens at normal speed, how? Oh, did I say I rated Odd Spirits like 3.5? It was a cute novella. Nothing like mind-blowing. The thing is, I read Six Scorched Roses, which is probably one of the best novellas I've ever read and will ever read, and nothing's ever gonna top that. So it kind of like ruined novellas for me, because now I like compare everything to that, and like nothing's on the same level. Anyway, I'm really enjoying Sword of Kaigen. We haven't really got any like real plot yet. It's just kind of like, here's how the world is, and here's some history, and here's some background. Like, that's where I'm at. It's about 25% in. So yeah, I'm gonna do some colouring, gonna listen to the book, and then I'll check back in with you when I have some thoughts and feelings. I'm 262 pages in, which is about 40%. My last update was like, oh, it's just like building the world and like blah blah blah. Yeah, no, a lot's going on now. This book is about like war, and it's just started. Like, the war has just started. So everything's happening. And the last chapter was like, lots going on. It's a little bit confusing at times. There's a lot of people that you have to remember, a lot of names that are flying around. I'm understanding it all, I think, anyway. I don't have anything else to say other than it's good. Like, I don't have any thoughts really on it. I think I'll have more thoughts like the further and further I get in. Hopefully I'll have more thoughts. Maybe my brain is just like truly empty. I also think because I've worked all day, that's also why I have no thoughts. Like, my head is empty, to be honest, at this point. I'm also reading on my phone, because when you read and listen to the audiobook, it scrolls for you. So I'm literally going to prop it up like here and just lie here and enjoy my evening. I wonder what other 23-year-olds are doing on a Thursday night. On a Thursday night, I used to go to the club. Back when I was 18. Yeah, no, couldn't be me anymore. This is my idea of a really good night. I've done my colouring. Now I'm gonna lie here and read my book. I'm like a 23-year-old grandma who's also like a 23-year-old teenager. This is just all I need at the end of the day. And this is fun. I'm having so much fun. Really, I am. I know it doesn't sound genuine, but like, I'm so happy right now. I won't have to go to work until Tuesday again. But I can do this for at least the next 4 days. God. Do you know what? I love a simple life. I don't want to work a corporate job. I don't want to climb a ladder. I just want to relax. Anyway.
His hands were on Gus's shoulders as he took comfort where he used to wrinkle his eyes.
Please ignore. I have to film this now, otherwise I'm not gonna film it. You can see I've literally just done my hair, like all my tools are out. This is what you're gonna get. I'm obviously getting ready to go out. I've got about an hour to let my hair set and do my makeup, so I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I do my makeup. When I get home, I'm gonna finish it. I've only got 3 hours left, so if I listen to an hour now, I'll only have 2 hours when I come back. Is it focusing on me, or is it focusing on... It's also really dark, like, I'm so sorry. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Look at my outfit. I won the Vinted lottery, because what do you mean matching trouser, top fluffy duo. Oh, I don't know if I said, but I'm going to see Wicked, so I look a bit more presentable now. My hair's down. We're going to dinner and then we're going to watch Wicked. We went to watch Wicked for my birthday in the theatre, and we're going to see Wicked for her birthday in the cinema. So, full circle moment. Just got back from my little meal and watching Wicked. I'm 65% in. No, I'm not going to finish it today. I know I only have about 3 hours left, but I don't want to rush it. Hi, so it's the next day again. I read a little bit last night before I went to bed, but not much. I'm about 75% of the way in at this point. Hopefully I can get some done once I get home. I'm just not sure when I'm going to be home, which is my issue. Hopefully I'll be in the mood to read when I get home. I am like 75% through, so like it's the last bit now. I just wanted to like take a moment for some hair appreciation because I think this looks so cute. It's going to a Christmas market, so I tried to be a little bit more Christmassy with the bows. I got my bow necklace on, got my new Christmas tree earrings on. It's a vibe. Yeah, so I'll update you when I'm home. It's funny that like you'll see me look very put together and then this. The Christmas market was kind of a bust because it ended up being cancelled. What we ended up doing was like going and getting a bottle of Prosecco and some Greek food, which arguably was better. But because we had 2.5 glasses of Prosecco, I ended up just being tired. So I just came home, I laid down, I watched a movie with my boyfriend. We watched Look Back. It was like an hour and it was boring. I feel like you're so far up. I read a little bit. I'm 80% through. By 80%, you're thinking, oh, we're nearing the end of the book now. I don't, it doesn't feel like we're 80% in. The stuff's only just happened. Problem with a standalone where you've got such dense world building, you only get to like the point of it at like halfway through. And so you have to really like wrap it up kind of quickly. So like we got to the point of like 50%, that's where all the stuff is happening. Then 70%, we're getting like the story of why it happened, which still isn't figured out. Like we're still not sure. At 80%, I don't know how it's gonna like wrap up nicely, but at this point I'm like, where's this going? How are we ending this? I do feel like at the start of this book, I just like, there's so many characters, there's so many names. I was just like, am I meant to know all of this? By the time that you need to know, I was knowing. But I will say there's some unnecessary things. A different measure of time. Why do we need to do that? Like, there's enough going on. There's enough going on, so we didn't need that. I don't know. Other than that, it's been good. I'm not like in love with it, which I didn't want to say because like I don't know. The thing is, I read Blood Over Brighthaven before I'm reading this, and Blood Over Brighthaven was so fast paced and like things were happening relatively quickly, and like I was so in that book. Whereas this, I'm not as in it, which it's kind of crazy because I thought I would like this more because everyone else does. But maybe I'm just weird. I think I'm preferring Blood Over Brighthaven. I'm not saying that this is a bad book by any means, but I'm saying I'm not loving it as much as I thought I was going to love it. And I've been wanting to say it, but I've also not been wanting to say it because I'm like, maybe I'll eat my words. But we're 80% in now, and I think I've just got to speak my truth. I also was like, I don't want to be like Negative Nancy. It's beautifully written. I'm not emotionally connected with it. It's a good book, but I'm not emotionally connected. So let's finish this and then I'll give you my consolidated wrap-up thoughts. should turn this on actually. I finished it. I hate when I finish a book that I thought was going to be 5 stars and I'm left a little bit disappointed. It fell victim to being overhyped, unfortunately, for me personally. There was a lot of things that weren't explained, even in the end. It just felt like, that's it? Like, okay. They got attacked by someone, we never found out, like, what's that got to do with anything. I don't want to spoil anything, is my problem. The pacing was very off. Like I said, we don't get actually into what's happening until 40% of the way in. The first half of the book is like setup, right? Which is fine. It's like historical fiction for the first half of the book. I'm gonna separate it like this. Historical fiction for the first half of the book. We're learning about the world, we're learning about the history of everything, we're learning about the different families, we're learning about the different characters, we're learning about the past, the present, whatever. Then the middle of the book is a war, right? We get a big war. And then afterwards, we just get this political intrigue and like little drops of information on like why it happened and like whatever. The reason why the war happened, it's so unsatisfying. It's so unsatisfying. The more I talk about it, the more I'm disappointed. Yeah, it felt like completely different books. And then the ending, it was sweet, but like, that was the ending. Got all these little clues of things that are meant to be elaborated on that never get elaborated on in this book, that you think, oh, they'll be elaborated on in the next book. There is no next book. There isn't a next book. This is it. Reading Blood of a Bright Haven first and then reading this is like a fleshed out story and then not a fleshed out story, because like it seems fleshed out at first glance, but when you actually think about it, like there's loads that's gone unanswered, and it might be the same in Blood of a Bright Haven, but at least there was like an ending, right? And you might not have been satisfied with the ending because it did like, it's open-ended, but at least it was an ending. It just felt a bit like, oh, like it feels like I'm in the middle of a story. Realistically, it felt like the first 40% of the book needed to be the first 20%. The war scene needed to be dragged out a little bit more needed to be happening, because the war actually only went on for like a day, not even that, a couple hours. And then the last bit needed to be expanded on and expanded on, but also consolidated. I don't know. I'm not an editor, I'm not a writer, this is my opinion. I didn't like it as much as everyone else, which I hate when I have to have a differing opinion from everyone else. I just started Legendborn and I'm so glad I have the audiobook for this one, because the writing, I don't know if you can tell, it's so small. This is why I read on my Kindle, because I can choose the font size, because this is so small. I'm gonna read a little bit of this, see where I get up to, and update you. Hi. Are you reading with me? Are you going to read with me? Hi, it's been a few days and I'm here to end the vlog. Just wanted to round out sort of how I ended the week. I actually felt myself getting into a reading slump, so I was like, I need something that will take me out of this. I ended up picking up Morningstar instead of continuing Legendborn. I think I got a chapter or two into Legendborn and I was like, right, I need to not start something new right now because I can feel myself getting into that reading slump. So I was just like, I need something that I already know that I can just jump into. And I already planned to finish Morningstar like later on in the month, so I was like, why don't I just pick this up, because it's the third book, I know what's happening, I know the world, so I was like, it's the best thing I can do. And it was the best thing I can do because I'm 35% in now. Sword of Kaigen could have put me in a reading slump because I was expecting such high things from it and got disappointed. I needed something I knew. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.